Hey, everybody, welcome to Comics Covered, the show where Matt and I, the co-founders of CoverPrice.com, talk about the importance of keeping your comics covered in bags for saving for later. And that's the whole show. We dedicate it just to Mylar bags and boards and the ups and downs in the market of the bags and boards, nothing else. It's plastic is an important thing. So, Matt, take it away.
That was a unique intro.
Thank you. I try.
Right.
I try to keep you on your toes.
It's something. You know what? It's something. It's a little something. A little something for everyone.
I try to do nice things for you guys.
I know. You keep working on that tagline too. You keep coming up with it.
I think I got a good closing line, by the way. So stay tuned.
All right. I'll reserve all judgment. All right, folks. Hey, back. I thought we were supposed to cover that with coffee grounds. Well, you could. That's how you make more comics grow. If you want to, like, you plant every Wildcats and Youngblood that you plant, a new one grows in its place. That's what I hear.
And that's the secret of the aftermarket.
A comic book probably wouldn't be terrible for your garden because it would turn into mulch to some degree.
I don't know about the ink and the who knows red dye number 5 and.
All right, only golden age then. Only your golden age and your
just organic comics.
Right. Hey, folks. So we're back. I don't know who's going to join us tonight. Some folks might pop in and out. But today we kind of, wanted to talk about, on a top level, just all the Doomsday stuff and kind of what it's what to do with all that news. But first off, I kind of want to get into, let's see if I can show my screen today. We'll try doing this.
And I should say, while you're doing that, Matt, we are giving away a T-shirt from a lucky winner. We're going to go to the shop. Here, I'm going to post it real quick, the link. But we're going to go to the shop, and you guys get to choose a shirt, and we will show you some cool stuff. And someone will win a lucky winner will win a Cover Price swag.
And what's cool, you'll be able to custom it to what you like. So the differences between these, and I've had meeting after meeting about this, and I just kind of paid attention to it. But there's a white logo, a black logo, a red logo, and then a blue logo, and then there's the variants of the shirt colors themselves. So you kind of lean into what you want in terms of a logo aesthetic, and then you could kind of be like, I want the blue, and you can go into black. Well, that looks sharp. I like that one.
That's our plastic right there. I like that one.
Yeah, the blue and green is pretty good. And this is good for Easter. If you want something very formal for Easter.
Yeah, it's either wear under a blazer or some sort of like Easter bunny outfit.
Yeah. Put a little jacket over it, and now you're classy.
Yeah, we have good taste.
Yeah, heather, that looks good too, the heather and the blue. Anywho, whoever the winner is tonight will get to custom their shirt, and we'll ship it directly from here to you. So we're giving away shirts, and you could choose if you guys want more shirts than books. Just let us know, or maybe we should do something for the Rewind crew too. So we'll try to integrate something for that. We won't do it tonight, but I do feel bad that like a lot of our comments will say like the day before someone will do the keyword, and I'm like, oh man.
Well, it's only for the live watchers. You got to watch it live, everyone.
Yeah. But I notice you, and I feel for you. So that's something. That's something.
Yeah.
Something to check out today. I recommend always going to the crowdfunded comics. One, supporting indie creators is fantastic. 2, it gets you on board with maybe some early stuff that could have some aftermarket appeal. I always say, 1, does it interest you? Do you want to read it for the story? And then 2, if there's sometimes little hidden gems in these, but like a popular artist will do an add-on cover, and there's like 10 people ordering these things. So there are always some hidden gems within these. I was excited to see that Skull Kickers is coming back. I don't know if you guys remember that from 10 years ago. But yeah, Jim Zub is bringing back Skull Kickers.
What was that about? Is that the one with
It's like World of Warcraft-esque, you know. It's the digest edition. That's why it's the big trade edition. So I guess, here's their single issues. I don't know. It's interesting. Skull Kickers was a good, an enjoyable book. There's some remarks, signed copies. I always enjoy trying to maybe look at the remarks for $95. So come on. Anywho, check these out at your leisure. You can also go back to previous ones and see how they're doing.
Hey, mind killing the ad at the bottom of that one? If you go back to that one.
Well, I'm off of it now.
Or you're off of it now. I was going to ask, how do things make it onto the Kickstarter list at cover price?
So our writer Dana just goes through and kind of assesses things that seem interesting, might need a little extra push, or have something that's kind of hidden in it that has like one of those hidden gems, you know. Like there was one we covered a couple months ago that had a right when Suspiria was getting hot. She did a cover for one of the covers, and it wasn't showcased like on the front end of things. It was like as an add-on, and I think there were only 15 copies ordered out of her covers.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, crazy uber rare. So it's kind of fun. Those are the opportunities to kind of pay attention to, and that's what I look for. And plus, are you supporting a fun creator? There's definitely creators that we're friends with. That we throw in. There's plenty that I've been guilted into supporting. Just because you do it.
I would say that's the hardest part of doing cover price and going to conventions when we're like, hey, we're cover price. They're like, great. Oh, let me tell you about this thing. And it's right here for $50. And you're like,
there was one that we did, and I won't say what Kickstarter was for, but it was a Kickstarter. We're good friends with the publisher, and they were swaying me on the like, oh, this cover and this cover. Oh, it sounds great. I'll do it. It was a $250 Kickstarter, and I just had to like eat it and just do it.
Where is the Untamed?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are great covers. They're great books. There's no aftermarket value to them, which is fine. Doesn't always have to be about the aftermarket. You still, again, supporting the independent publisher, so it's all good, Yeah. But it was a little, as cheap as I am, that hurt a little bit.
We're talking about it today.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit. But that's on me. I mean, $250
is a pretty good penny though to put on a comic book. That's yeah.
Yeah, it was a hefty amount for it.
Something stupid like that for the Biche Invincible cover.
She had to make that decision yourself.
What's that?
You could have checked your own site to get the values.
I just got caught up in it. I was just like, that makes sense. Yeah. Big dummy.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. These are things we do all the time. Something that just went live. This is you can go to CP Content. It'll be down in the Evergreen articles and the resources articles. But now we have a running list of all the comic book conventions happening in the year. So there you go. So we start with March because all the previous entries have been moved to the bottom. So we cycle them down to the bottom. So February is done now. But now we're into March. There's Pop Culture Con. We got Fan Expo Cleveland. We have Galaxy Con. And we have WonderCon. So those are for March. And it tells you where they are. So we went by date range, because it would be easier to search for them than by location. So for those out in Texas, Ohio, or Virginia, you'll have a fun month, or Anaheim.
Yeah. So guys, like if you're wanting to know what cons are going on, just check out this page. And again, we'll keep it as updated as possible. It's not going to be all the super tiny cons, but the medium to large, I think, is kind of falling into the categories here.
Yeah. And let me drop that link in here as well. There we go. So if you guys ever want to peruse this, bookmark it. This will be updated forever moving forward. So it will just keep adding dates and conventions. And if there's something missing, feel free to reach out to. There's a link at the bottom here. that says email Bobby at coverprice.com. You can let him know, he'll add it. And same thing. We add the links to the site, and when available, you can purchase your tickets directly. So this is, again, we're just creating the resources so you can find out exactly what's going on. We'll let you know which one of these we do our big convention list for.
JD,
JD, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, we start at 6. Everyone else starts here at 6.
Good question, JSS Brooklyn. No, we will not be at probably most of those. The only ones we're attending this year are C2E2. I don't even know if we're going to WonderCon at this point. It's only a couple weeks away. So the fact that we haven't discussed that it means we're probably not going.
I mean, typically, C2E2 is the new one, then New York and San Diego.
We usually go to WonderCon. Yeah, San Diego. Our big ones are usually San Diego, New York Comic Con, and now C2E2. We do LA Comic Con as well. We will be
usually WonderCon.
What's that?
Usually WonderCon.
Yeah, and we'll also do MegaCon next year, and maybe one more. We're trying to get around just to all the different parts of the country, at least, and represent in those different areas. And then but definitely, like, if you've been to, like, if you go to a West Coast convention, that's the same people usually at all those conventions in terms of retailers. And the publishers don't turn up for most of them.
This is my secret collection. Since we started Cover Price, these are all the conventions we've been to in the years. Yeah. Ugh.
Yes,
my Predator skulls that I carry with me.
All right, so we'll get into the thick of it here. Our top 10 was interesting this week. So we got a mixture of got this Doom Hulk book. We got Mark Spears Space, the Ashcan for Space Quest with Space Ghost. We have some Invincible books back on here. I forget what this one was. We'll have to look into what that key was for. We don't have it marked.
That's the Powerplex character. So he was just on the most recent episode of Invincible.
Oh, Powerflex? Is that the first appearance of Powerflex?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, You're right. You're right. All right. Well, that's.
I'm right. You sound so surprised.
I know. I'm shocked.
Every once in a while, Matt, I pull one out.
All right. Well, we got to update that. So clearly, we got to do that. We're going to talk about this one tonight. This X-Force 116. This is going to be a big book to revisit. I'm sure a lot of you already know why. You can say the name if you like. Who's offering the Mark Spears exclusive? I don't know. The Ashcan. These are usually sent to stores. So these Ashcans are they're usually like 2 per account. I think most stores get 1 or 2 copies of this. I believe, at least, unless it was offered at a convention. Yeah, a few shops have it. Yeah. So a lot of shops get these ash cans. So maybe your store still has them, maybe they don't. But I think there is some excitement about it. It's a good cover for Space Ghost.
That's a great cover. Yeah, I didn't realize Johnny Quest was so young, though.
Johnny Quest he's a kid.
Yeah, I always forget that, but yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to see Space Quest. It's a good concept. These were a surprise. So we also have another Mark Spears cover. It's kind of interesting whenever there's a new cover exclusive, there's a big surge of aftermarket sales because a lot of people are flipping these, right? So this was a cool cover by KRS, Comic Corner. Oh, there's a lot of them in there. 4 folks went on this. 4 print, limited to 450. Mark Spears is awesome. If you're collecting them, you're collecting them. This was the big surprise to show up on the list. I don't know if you guys were paying attention. They were it was everywhere. In at least what I was seeing was these Whatnot Marvel trading packs for the Red Hulk. There's also Captain America. So this was the 3-pack. There's also a 9-pack. These have the best way to go. Let's see if I can go back here. Yeah. So I'll show you. Go into. We actually have the variants nestled under the proper book, not under those. So you'll see there's the gold foil, there's a prism foil, there's a silver foil, there's a virgin, there's the regular one. So yeah, there's a lot of variations, and then there's also the Sam Wilson becomes Captain America cover, same kind of treatments. Again, they're doing really well. All these different covers are moving it. Like some people are saying, it's kind of funny that these covers are outselling this. You can buy this for $40, $50 right now. Yeah. And these are going for $150, $300, $100.
Mr. Glover is on the call here. He says the price point for the Whatnot Marvel books is crazy. Agreed.
Yeah, the buy-in. So again, they did say that there was a limited drop. I think I got some email from them. I didn't go into it, but there was a limited drop, and whatever was available. And I don't know how much they made them available for. But again, most of these they were given out to Whatnot sellers. I don't know if they either bought them or given them. I don't know how that works. From what I heard, it's a little mixture. Some people are charged for them, some aren't. I don't know the full. What's that?
What's our policy on putting a pack instead of in single comics as well? Because I know we do that for some.
The reason why we put the packs is because people realize the value of selling them sealed, right? Because, for example, I don't know what the buy-in was exactly. If anyone has actually bought the pack from Whatnot, let's say the buy-in, someone sells them for $200 on Whatnot, or let's say $120. Sometimes it's easier to flip it because you might have, the regular edition and the Virgin edition, but you might not get any of these special cover treatments. So it's more cost effective for you to flip them than take the chance that you'll have one of the Prism or the Gold.
Right.
Matt Glover says buy-in was between $80 and $200. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's gamble. People love gambling. That's the thing, and that's why they're moving. That's why we have them as sealed, because people do love the gambling aspect. People like to know what they go for. There will always be sealed versions of these moving forward for those same reasons, because people like to retain them for that, as sealed, to hold that value, especially as copies dry up and maybe there's more gold or rainbow foils out there. The packs, then maybe, at least how the card market would work, is that they would go up in value. I'll tell you that the X-Men books did go, when they did the X-Men ones, which were original covers compared to this one. These are all reprints. But the original versions have definitely decreased in value because there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of copies. So, that's something to be mindful of as you're buying these. If you got them for free and you're flipping them, cool, or even if you got them at low cost, then they're kind of a fun thing to open up. And that's what a lot of people like doing. A lot of people like showing up just to watch these open up. And I'm spending way too much time on this, but it was interesting to see those go. Again, a lot of the same books that have popped up, and read our top 10 if you want to explore them a little more thoroughly. But we want to kind of jump back into this one. So there was a big recent leak, and I'll jump into this here. There was a big leak that you guys probably saw for Avengers Doomsday. Now, there's a lot of stuff that came out of it. I always say be cautious, because AI, anyone could be doing this stuff, releasing these things, and people could want to mess with the speculation side of things and make you, just for fun, shits and giggles, make you buy things that you might not necessarily have to buy. Or it could be legit. The fact that it was taken down, and that there were reports of Marvel being upset about it. I don't have anything to bet that. It did seem legit, and some of the concepts that are tied into it does fall in line with the things that we've heard and the things that are coming out that we know of. There was some concept art I saw for Fantastic Four that had like Emily Blunt's likeness on it, so that tells me that these were also may have been very old. You know, like Emily Blunt was talked about being the role of Sue Storm, what, like 4 years ago,
Right.
So I don't know how, these could have changed by now. Like these could no longer be the story, or now that they leaked, they might tweak them, or Marvel leaked them on purpose just to get people back on the side of, wanting to be excited about this project. So anyways, we'll jump into it.
I didn't even realize that those were not real. Because I was watching the trailer, I thought it was the real trailer. No, for Doomsday.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a real trailer. Sure.
Oh, it looks so legit.
So one of the ones I kind of pulled out one of the Fantastic Fours that people were talking about was the fact that Franklin is probably going to be in it. Now again, this could have been early art that was he was removed. That he was removed from the final film. I don't know. So I always say take these with a grain of salt. But the fact that they'll weave in Franklin, they have been talking about the weaving in. I think they even talked about the Foundation. Help me.
What's that?
Someone in the chat could help me. The Fantastic Four's Foundation that it started. Oh my God.
I like while you're looking at that, Glover is saying that it would be interesting if Marvel actually shared the pictures to see who's leaking them internally. Yeah. Like how do you find the mole, right?
Future Foundation. I mean, the thing is, these go through so many people's hands. It's not shocking. Like, I mean, I was sent the Red Hulk, an image of the Red Hulk 5 years ago. Like it was, here's Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. I'm like, clearly things are slipping through because it is valuable information. So this was
Future Foundation.
Yeah, Future Foundation. So the fact that there's rumors that they are weaving in Future Foundation, the kids are a big part of that. So there's it makes sense. This was again, man, I'm blanking on the names. Where's my notes? That would be helpful. Vision Quest. So this kind of somewhat confirmed that Star-Lord will be in Vision Quest, kind of like a buddy comedy. Maybe he just pops in, pops out. I don't know what it is, but it's nice. So we'll be, nice to see Vision return. This was
that's where he went.
So people are saying that they're going to introduce a variant of T'Challa. So basically, this is a way to bring in T'Challa, Black Panther, back into the MCU. Now it also could be his son, aged up. It could be a different version. It could be not T'Challa. It could be someone else. It's either a variant of T'Challa or his son, most likely. And they said that this is based on a known actor, and I forget who they said it was. But that would be. I mean, it makes sense because they definitely know that the Black Panther 2, Shuri wasn't able to push that film on her own.
What if they brought in Don Cheadle as Black Panther and Robert Downey Jr. as like they just recast everybody as?
Yeah, I think that would piss everyone. I think that would be.
Yeah, that's too far. That's too far.
What they could do. Who was the one that was War Machine on the first film? Terrence Howard, right?
Terrence Howard, yeah.
Yeah, they could bring. They could bring that. That'd be funny.
He's too busy proving that Zero doesn't exist.
This was the next one. So this was the first look at Doctor Doom, but Doctor Doom is God Emperor Doom. So in the what was it, Secret Wars? Not the original Secret Wars, but
was it Warworld?
Was that no Secret Wars? Oh. But I'm trying. I want to get to the year. I thought I was prepared here. Actually, did I have the link here? I sure do have the link there. The 2015 series. With the book that's on and off our top 10 list for the past couple of years as well. So now God Emperor Doom is kind of back on, which is interesting. If you don't remember, God Emperor Doom gets like the powers of the Beyonder, and he becomes Emperor Doom. He basically patchworks the planet, and it basically patchworks this planet together, battle world, and that he rules with his iron fist. And that seems to be the general, like, he creates kind of like this medieval world. This is a common theme that you'll see between all these leaks. And it's kind of interesting to go into, like, so the next thing here is you see God Emperor Doom, and this is actually Sheriff Strange that was in that Secret Wars series. This is reportedly Reed Richards, and this is supposed to be White Widow. What's her name?
Oh, Yolanda?
Yeah, Yolanda. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Just for comparison, here is.
And we go back to the one I also heard. I don't know if you just said that, but the woman to his right, they believe might be Sue Storm, and then Franklin Richards. Like,
right.
He adopts them, kind of, or he's been after her for forever. But.
Right. And that kind of it ties into here. So you have there's a Secret Wars 4. So there's Sheriff Strange, God Emperor Doom, and you have Future Foundation, Sue Richards, and my God, what's their daughter's name? Yeah.
Matt, we rely on you for this.
I know. I need help for sure.
What is her name? Yeah, find it. Quick internet.
I can't remember.
I got it.
Valeria. Yeah, Valeria. Thank you. Thanks, Glover. We should just have you on.
Yeah, Glover. In here.
Yeah, so Valeria. I mean, I do like Valeria. If they do, that's a good way to bring her in, because basically she was, Doom did raise her. So that could be interesting. That definitely tied into that 4th issue really well. I mean, even if these are not real, someone definitely did their homework. So I kind of feel like pretty accurate. Like, here's again an interior page that really ties into that art. You could kind of see the more interaction with Sheriff Strange and Thor.
That's very easy. Wow.
Jocasta might be in Vision Quest. This was another image that popped up. So it could be interesting to see Jocasta pop up. And
where did these all pop up, Matt? Were they just online, or was it just YouTube?
Yeah, I forget the site that leaked it. But they're gone. The page is dead.
People are in prison. Someone was murdered.
Well, that's the theory. So what's interesting about this, people are saying it's like World War Hulk, which is what some of the rumors were, but it ties into the medieval theme. So I think this is just part of the battle world. That this is just probably.
But did you notice everyone in the village is a Hulk?
Yeah. That's definitely interesting, because you got Hulk, She-Hulk, and then this is supposed to be Scar. And of course, definitely better designed Scar than the shaved bald head version of him.
But of course, to the right of that is Fiona from Shrek.
That's
just so you know, and if you look close,
and then Nice Pool, is that Nice Pool back there? No, it's definitely interesting. This was the more curious part to me, and that they have this big fence around it, like, that would stop anyone.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why you'd walk into a town of Hulks, but anyway. Yeah. So this was the biggest one. This next one that people were talking about the most. You have, I don't know if you can see the whole screen or if it's cut off. Okay.
You can see it. I can see it.
So you got Wong, Star-Lord, you got Kate Bishop, and then you have Cassie Lang, and then you have Speed and Wiccan, Miss Marvel. And who's this little guy over there, John?
Oh, Dupe.
It's Dupe. That was the one red flag. I was like, would they really bring in Dupe? Like, really? Without even, like, introducing the X-Men in some capacity first? Like, you're weaving in Dupe? Like, that was that's kind of one of the things I was like, I wonder if this is not real. if
I wonder. I mean, if this is concept art, maybe they're just. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Why would they do that? That's strange.
But it's interesting because when you go back to, that's why this is taken off, because this is the first appearance of Duke. But people are like jumped all over that because, I mean, clearly all of their first appearances have already started taking off. Young Avengers took off and then died, and then we'll see if this might pick it up a little bit. But the fact that Dupe is hanging there in the right has definitely got people.
Ken 19D wants to know who is Dupe.
Oh, who is Dupe? Dupe is like, okay, what's the best way to explain this?
X-Force.
Yeah, so Mike Allred's here. Let me hide the screen. If you've never read it, Mike Allred's and Peter Milligan's X-Force is one of the best, arguably one of the best X stories that exists. You have Dead Girl. You have oh my gosh, he was in Deadpool the film. Oh my god, what's his name? The one that pukes acid. Oh my god, I can't remember all their names.
Shatterstar? Wait, what?
No, Shatterstar. But I'm terrible with remember any information. So you guys will definitely have to help me here.
Well, for Dupe, I got a little biography. He was the product of a Cold War era U.S. military experiment, becoming instrumental in the fall of the Soviet Union. He later served as a cameraman for a celebrity mutant hero team, Ecstatic, formerly X-Force. He films a mission in North Africa, which is later criticized by the then team leader Zeitgeist. He feels Dupe should not be going for artistic shots. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it goes on and on. He's just part of the X-Force.
But he's really powerful, I believe. I forget what this is, the variant that used to be pretty hard to find. There's an Adi Granov variant that is a fun one. If you ever want to get like a really fun variant for Dupe outside of his first appearance, this is a good one to get. So
his powers are superhuman strength and durability, flight, regeneration, physical malleability, a vague defined ability to manipulate time or space, and the ability to replicate physical objects by unknown means.
Yeah, he's pretty uber powerful. Matt Glover did say, yes, the red here, Timothy. Yeah, yes, the Red Hulk whatnot packs are all reprints. Yes, the whole thing. There's no new cover. But so that I thought that was interesting that they kind of show him here. And Matt Glover had a good point. Maybe he just walks past. This is a good opportunity on this world. That's a mishmash of all these characters pulled in from different dimensions. This is a good opportunity to like litter it with the Easter eggs. So he could just be an Easter egg right here. But it feels very deliberate at the same time. You kind of want to go back. Like, so what's interesting in this series? So we showed what was it? This book. So this was 4, and if you remember, here's number 5. Remember that book was in Deadpool on the ground, and it was in the trailer, and they made a point to kind of show it to some degree, and this book took off in a big way. So clearly there are a lot of things that also lead to this being factual. This book has not taken off yet, again, which it's probably okay. So there's a lot of interesting trends connected to that's already happening. The one thing that wasn't on this list that will probably be on next week, I'm sure, is Secret Wars 2, because it's the first Emperor
Emperor Doom.
Yeah, I keep running to blank. God Emperor Doom. So here's the. Why is this not opening? Open link. Yeah, so here's Secret Wars 2. This is the first God Emperor Doom. This is a great opportunity. Like, there's still time. There's so much time that we have before we're even close to a trailer. So I always say just spend your time looking for these out in the wild. If you recall, this book at one point in 2022 hit a high of $500, and now it sells for $91. And this is with the recent heat. So
Matt, I know last time we went through the whole when to buy and it seemed like the most bang for your buck is at the rumor, but if they're not confirmed, you're wasting your money. So where is that sweet spot?
Well, the sweet spot was in 2022. That sweet spot's long gone. The sweet spot, like now, it's kind of like this. Here's the thing: like a lot of these auxiliary books tend to not hold long-term value very well. They see a sudden spike, then the film comes out, and everyone who has a copy is selling their copy at the same time. While it is a key of the first God Emperor Doom, as a collector, you're going to want the first appearance of Doom, right? Like, if this was a new character, you would still want their first appearance. So these are the books that will, there tends to be a large supply of when they hit the aftermarket, and they definitely help hurt the volume, which is what happened in this. With a little bit of time, this was probably one of the only 9.8s at the time to hit that $500 sale. But if you look at all the past sales, you can definitely see that. Let's see when it dropped.
Yeah. So those of you who don't know, if you go into Cover Price, you can click on that see sales, and you can see all the sales data we have for each of the book at each grade.
This was the first 9.8 that really hit the market. I'm sure there were some before we were tracking them. But it definitely went from 400, like almost pretty, like a couple months later. Yeah, 3 months later, it was 130, 200. So like 200 was kind of average. And then by the end of the year, it was a $50, $60 book because, news dried up. Then it was like a $35 book. So before all this renewed heat, like you could have got a copy for $27. I mean, you gamble buying them at the crazy low dips like that, but again, $27 for 9.8 was a pretty darn good deal. Now is probably not a good time to buy it, but if you find it in the wild, and you get it for $5-10, that's probably pretty good.
JD has a question. Is there a mistake on Cover Price? First of all, we don't make mistakes except when we do. For number one being the first issue of God Emperor Doom and issue number 2.
So we should clarify. I should probably fix that. So one was a cameo, is the cameo appearance, and then this is the first full appearance. So that's a good point. Yes, that's a good point. We do definitely need to fix that. So I'll make a note to go in and adjust that. But yeah, this was the first cameo. I'll just confirm. Let's see how sellers are listing it. People are just saying God Emperor Doom. First God Emperor Doom. So probably was just it's just a cameo in it. I'll also read it again just to confirm that is accurate. I don't know what how he shows up in this first issue. But
we got some homework to do.
So there's something I need to go back and double check. Thank you for calling that out. Again, if you guys ever see anything conflicting, let us know so we can go through and investigate it and figure out what happened. It probably usually comes down to there was, at one point people were like, this was the first appearance. And then someone else came in and like, oh, no, that was just a cameo. Yeah. And then at that point is usually when we go in and we just read it to make sure for ourselves.
Those are always some of the most interesting ones. We usually, of course, read it. But like there's some where people say, that's the first appearance. And you read it and the person's arm is in it, like no face, just like a hand. And you're like, that you can't, So we'll get it fixed.
Just flipping through because I have a digital copy here. He's at the beginning of the first issue, and you kind of see him getting his powers.
You want to share your screen? You want to share that?
No, because it's this. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me flip through it still. Oh, yeah. I don't know. This is one of those things where you can argue it. Here, let's see if I can share my screen. So you can see, like right here, the book opens up. It's page 1. You could see him kind of gaining all this power with the destroy armor. I think that's what it was called. Anywho, you just see basically that little. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like he gets his abilities or becomes God Emperor Doom until the next issue. So this is like the end of it, where you see the world destroyed. And so, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It does seem you could argue it pretty easily that it's the first appearance, but at the same time, I don't think it kind of warrants itself. Like, is it the first time he's called it? Is it the first time in the full armor? You know, there's so many ways to argue those first appearances.
Right.
Yeah, there's a religious debate about the first issues, whether they're in the issue or on the cover. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, covers do matter. This was a conversation I think they were having on the Shaker Show on Thursday about Hulk 180 and versus 181. Wolverine's on the last panel, has a line, full display, called the Wolverine, very good panel appearance. And you could argue that's the first appearance, which is kind of is. But the cover of that is not nearly as good as 181. And so when you have this full appearance of 181 plus a really good cover, you know, it's kind of the cover is what pushed it over. So anywho, that's pretty much it in a nutshell of all the stuff around Doomsday, the Doomsday Avengers Doomsday. I want to say Doomsday War. But yeah, this was all the stuff that kind of came out of it. It was.
I mean, either way, this stuff is fun. I love some of this stuff. It's like, is it? What's going to be it? I mean, all the geeks like us like just eat this stuff up. So, it's fantastic.
Well, there's even people that were saying like you could kind of, I mean, because of the medievalness of it, and I highly doubt they would do this, but let's hide it. There's theories that it might be Marvel 1602, but because of all the trouble around Neil Gaiman right now, I highly doubt that they're gonna like tap into that story right now.
I mean,
because the aesthetic kind of goes well with, you know, with what they're showcasing there. I wouldn't be surprised if that preliminary art did intend to bring this as a backdrop, you know, and have some 1602 elements of it, but because of Neil Gaiman's
allegations.
No, it's not even allegations. It's pretty I don't know. But like, I doubt they're going to remove themselves from that pretty quick. So I have a feeling that some of that stuff, those connections might change. But I mean, it's too bad because 1602 is such a good story.
Interesting.
See, one says Hulk 180 is first step, which is like this will be the thing that will be debated until the last breath. Probably the last person that's alive will have the final say of that'll be the last words. I'm like 180, and then fine, it's done. I don't disagree with you. 180 is a really good first appearance.
I mean, if he's in a panel and he's in full costume and they call him the Wolverine, like that's the first appearance.
But the cover, it like almost, you know, it's we could debate this all day long. Last thing I have a short box of 1602. I would love to see 1602. I just, because of the Neil Gaiman stuff, there's no way that they would. They might still have the elements of it in there, like the whole aesthetic, the medieval aesthetic might stay, but there's no way that they're going to weave in a lot of the 1602 elements at all.
So let me just get
I've never had a 180 or a 181, so that's something I will have.
You
to
mind if I steal the screen for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. All right, guys. So we're gonna do a giveaway, and what we're giving away is a T-shirt. Ha 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 ha. So as Matt mentioned in the beginning, if you went to basically everywhere on Cover Price, you're going to see links to the merch shop if you want to try and get a shirt. Everyone asked for one, so feel free to purchase one if you want. But anyway, we're going to give away one of these, and
or just wait and win one next time.
Or next time, yeah, true. But the way it works is go to the shop and then select the shirt in the size that you want. If you go into each one, you can see the different colors for each one. And there's cool. So each one has about maybe 4 different colors. So it's white logo, black logo, red logo, cyan logo. And then, yeah, so all you have to do is type in, let me put it into the banner, hashtag merch. Hashtag merch will get you entered and, you'll win a shirt. And we'll do that drawing in a little bit.
Yeah, here I'll show you this real quick. I think you can cut back to it. There you go. Here's Secret Wars #2. So they even say, straightforward. For God is what now you must kneel, brother. For God is watching, and there's Doom, and then it's like, God Emperor Doom. So that's why people say that the first one is a cameo, and then this is the first full. Because then you see him later in the issue too. Yeah, there he is right there. So he's in his full God Emperor armor. But again, you could still argue that #1 was a good. Ooh, I forgot about that. Jeez.
Which one? Oh, Doom and.
It's Mr. Sinister getting his head taken off.
Oh yeah. Who does it? Who kills him? Yeah. Oh, there you go.
But he's still alive. It's hard to kill.
Yeah.
And Maestro, the one thing that didn't show is that Maestro is like one of the big villains. It's like Doom and Maestro are the ones pretty much ruling this world. And Maestro is supposed to be played by Eric Bana. I don't know if you heard that.
I did hear that. Yeah, that's cool.
So,
that's fun.
Yeah. So, if they are going this way, it sounds cool. I would love to see this.
Is it too deep of a cut though? Like, is it? I mean, all this stuff is like for fans who are like into it and they'd love seeing the theme change and stuff like that. Do you think this will have appeal to people who have no idea what's going on and they're gonna be so confused?
Well, I mean, that's what they have to work on for the next year or two, right? Is start leading up into that story. They've kind of already set the tone with Loki. I think Loki will be an important part with all the branches of all the different worlds, and they kind of set it with Deadpool. If you do it in a palatable way, like, hey, there's different timelines, like bringing them all together in this one battle world where they're mishmashing, like they're cramming all the different worlds together, and then you have an explosion. There's one left, which will just be the 616 universe, I assume. Yeah, it'll. All we want to get to is the X-Men, right? That's all we want to do.
Just make the X-Men happen.
We want the X-Men. That's it. Whatever they need to do, take us to the X-Men.
Make it so.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's pretty much all I got for tonight.
All right. Well, why don't we do this giveaway then?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. If you haven't entered, type in hashtag merch. I have a capital MERCH. I don't know if that matters. We got 14 entries. We got 30 people watching. So
well, how many people are in?
14.
14.
14.
It looks like it does matter because there's more than 14 in there.
Yeah.
Is it going up now that people are doing the capital?
No, it's not moving. So I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe only 14 people want a shirt.
I mean, maybe our shirts aren't nice. Maybe people hate Cover Price shirts. They just want to watch the channel and don't want to support it. I don't know.
That's right.
No.
31 in the chat. Okay, that's half,
Okay.
Other people are cooking, driving. They can't.
Just
They
pause,
can't put
pause
in
what you're doing.
headphones.
Type in hashtag capital merch, capital MERCH.
They can't do it. They can't do it.
All right. We'll give you a couple more seconds here. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun playing around with cover price because we get to do things like, if people want merch, we can do merch. If people want like other features, we, work to add them. Just to remind you guys, we got a ton of stuff happening this year with cover price. We are completely reviving our, or reviving, I don't know if that's the word, completely revitalizing our data.
Revamping is what you're going for.
Revamping. Oh, there it is. Thank you. What's wrong with us today?
Is at the end of the day, Monday. It's like my brain's farting already.
Long day.
So,
It was a long day. But yeah, no, we have a ton of fun stuff. And so the database stuff is going to give Cover Price some crazy features in terms of creating lists and doing reporting and like all this kind of stuff. But it's a huge part of making the site faster and kind of future proofing us for a lot of stuff. So we've been putting literally about 8 months of work into that so far, if not more. So, all right. Yo, that's fun. Left row says, I'm with Matt. I'm with John. That's just going to create battles between me and Matt, and cover price will crash. It'll be a big schism, and yeah, no, it goes right to our heads. So.
Or no one buys them. That would be even sadder.
That's even worse. Then Matt and I just hug each other and walk away.
That's right.
Best friends forever.
But no one's with us.
All right. All right, merch. Here we go. So if you win, email either me or Matt, John at Coverprice or Matt at Coverprice.com, and then tell us the size and the shirt color and logo color that you want, and we will get you that. All right, Here we go. No whammies. And the winner is Gear. Congratulations. I'm going to take a little screenshot so I have that for my, maybe not. Congratulations. So yeah, just email me or Matt and tell us what shirt and size you want. If you don't know the link to the merch shop, go to Cover Price and it's in our head, like the banner. It's on the content pages. Hey, there he is. Congratulations. Hey, you're awesome. Thanks for listening and watching.
Gear gets the gear. That's right, Lefteros. Gear gets the gear.
A little on the nose, but
well, a little destined for that.
Right.
Yeah. So things I think it's an interesting. It's also just a trend. Again, we always tell people don't rush out, buy these books online unless there's an amazing deal on another site. Try to get out there, find these copies in the wild. If you find a high grade, yeah, sure, send it in for grading. It's only going to cost you about $35. Instead of spending the $100 to get a 9.8. But again, there are deals because this book has dropped so much since 2022. There's probably deals out in your shops, and if you could show, tell them that the prices dropped. No, they'll have to look it up anyways.
They won't believe you.
Yeah, they won't believe you. So it's kind of one of those things where also at the same time be very mindful that these types of books are very volatile. They don't sustain very well long term. And if you do have one, probably now is the best time, or at least wait till a trailer. It's probably the best time to release them. Do not wait for the film, and because that's usually when all the copies come out, and it just completely deteriorates the price. A lot of people think that these books go down in value because they're not worth anything, and it's not that they're not worth anything or they're good keys. They just everyone buys them, hoards them, and then releases them at the same time. So then you have more sellers out there than buyers, and it's just pure economics. That's why we frequently see these books in like the top 10, especially when they're content driven, be so much lower, a year, 2-3 years later. It's just because of that sheer volume of copies that get listed, and then they sit for years. So it's really hard to get that value back. And then a lot of people want that same price that they paid for it. So you just see copies sitting, and people just don't want it because it's not, it's a whole cycle. But it's not. This happens all the time with these books. So again, be thoughtful, be mindful, don't overspend. That's our recommendation. Don't be too reactionary. I would definitely look for that X-Force 116. That's definitely out there. A lot of shops probably have them on their walls. Should only be $10, hopefully.
But Matt, I want these books now.
I mean,
saw someone talk about them.
X-Force 116 is a great book. X-Force 116 is a great book to have in your collection in general. And there's a lot of good first appearances of it. I love Dead Girl. So Dead Girl is a fun character. So definitely, she even had her own spinoff. So definitely, yeah, now's the time to go digging. That's what I say. And you still have months to do it. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's Matt's famous last words.
Last words.
Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, we've got you covered.